Hey guys, it's Scar Gaming here, and today I want to talk about how I finally reached T1 Abyssals using this ship in particular. And like always, if you are ever interested in playing EVE Online, please click the link in the description down below so you can get 1 million skill points and you can start trying to potentially get to this ship as soon as possible. And also, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content that I do, as that really helps the channel grow. So what we have here is the Caracal, and I'm going to be leaving the link in the description, obviously, so anybody that wants to use this fit can use it. I had to play around with this fit in particular because I had to work around with the CPU/power grid constraints, and this just seemed to be like the best fit that works for me. But I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in depth as the gameplay comes around, so stay tuned. I don't think this is the best fit, but this works. Don't know what skin this is, but it's really nice. I just got it recently. Here I'm traveling around Sebeski, and I finally find an open belt where I can actually use the filament because for some reason there seems to be a lot of other players in this area that plant down mobile depots, and you got to be over 1,000 kilometers to be able to actually open up a gate. And I just want to preface this particular video with this is actually the first time, this footage here is the first time I've ever done a T1 Abyssal on this fit. And just in general, I hadn't ran a T1 before because I just didn't have the DPS to actually like take this on. So I do make a lot of mistakes that, looking back, I think I could have actually made more loot. So learn from my mistakes, guys. In this video, you'll see me not approaching the caches and kind of just taking on these fights when I actually could be just hovering over to these caches to get the loot. And I think for the most part, I do want to say this ship is very strong. I think the only issue I have with this fit is just how slow it is. I believe this is a cruiser, so it is definitely slower than a frigate, and frigates tend to have most of the money. That's where the money making is, but this is an alternative to frigates, running a cruiser. But yeah, this is so slow, and you're gonna see like this be a reoccurring theme and kind of an issue throughout this whole video. And I don't mean just slow in terms of speed. Reload for this ship is 35 seconds. And if you are as impatient as I am when dealing with mobs, like enemies in this game, you will quickly understand that this is the most painful wait time ever. But yeah, another like decent attribute for the ship is it's really tanky. And I mean, I'm running like triple. I'm running 2 shield regens on top of a multi-spectrum enhancer, right? So I am tanky. Even um, the Navak, I think that's what it's called. One of the kind of really difficult ships to kill for this abyss stood no chance to me. It is impossible for me to die. Just want to caveat that if you are a bad pilot, you might die. I know at some point, eventually, this fit will be dead, and you guys will see me bring it up in another video of how I lost this ship. And I just, karma has ways. So, yeah, don't think you're invincible, though. I surely don't. I'm always panicking when my drones end up getting killed because I'm like, damn, that's a lot of my DPS gone there. And this is what I mean about the ship being slow. I'm here trying to loot, and I kind of sort of realized very early on that it is quite impossible for me to loot these unless I plan ahead, right? So, like I mentioned before, you want to learn from my mistakes. And obviously, I personally, what I would have done now, knowing, looking back, looking at some of this footage and being like, oh wow, like I'm kind of playing like a dummy, is I would have clearly gone for the extract, right? Have the ships approach me, and then destroy them close to me while I'm grabbing all these other pieces of loot. Also, just as an awareness, I was expecting my profits to kind of skyrocket, but given the fact that my ship is too slow and I'm unable to clear every single extraction node, it kind of actually potentially nets me less than a T0 Abyss run, because I can do five, or I could do like 3 or 4 T0s in the time that it took me to clear one of these T1s. So I just want to throw it out there again. This is not the best fit for T1s, but this will get you to start doing T1s. So if you've ever wondered if you could potentially do a T1, here's a fit that I run. It's not the best fit. There's definitely better out there, but it's cheap and it'll get you start making some income in game. And I did ask around. Obviously, there's better Abyssal players than myself. I'm a new player. I don't really have much experience fitting. I don't have much experience like creating these like ships and trying to figure out like min maxing. Right? I'm just a sheep. I kind of just follow what other people say. But when I asked if there was any warp drive that I could potentially put on this fit to try to make it faster, nobody really had any suggestions other than get another ship, and that's a frigate. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Also, I want to give out a good tip. Make sure you keep track of your drones. And also, in this particular room, you just want to kill the main mobs. They have a lot of drones with them, but from what I was told, or from what I watched, and even like what I experienced, and you'll see this within this next few like seconds, is that you just kill the main mob and their drones stop working, which is cool. That's a quick way to run through this room in particular, which is the final room. And I think I try to loot a lot more than I can, but um, I'm very inefficient at it still. But yeah, main point was keep track of your drones as well. I tend to lose track of my drones, and I have lost about, I want to say, 8 to 10 million in drones so far in the last 2 days somehow. So yeah, if you want to lose a lot of ISK quickly, faster than you can replace it, just do what I do and lose your drones.
A module has run out of charges.
And I am realizing quickly here, as you can see, I'm targeting their drones, but I'm like, they're not attacking me. So then I think I realized that I don't need to kill the drones. So there you go. That was another mistake of wasting time. Here at this point, I kind of realized that every other extract node is too far, and I kind of just opt to take the easy way out, which is to just go through the portal, because I will be unfortunately unable to loot everything in this room. And I do believe this is the room I referenced earlier. I think this is the Striking Drakavak. And I think this particular mob is a pain in the ass, as you can see by its HP. And I was very afraid when I was first running this, because I spent this whole time getting through those last two rooms in a painfully slow ship just to end up dying to this. So it was definitely I'm clenching really hard right now situation. And this is really what I mean by the multi-spectrum and the double shield generators working. I do take a lot more damage with this particular like fit, but I also can regenerate a lot of the damage onto my shields, so it's worth it in my opinion to be running this fit the way it is, even though it is slow. And here, we're about to take out the Drakavanok. Obviously, if you look at our shields, we're pretty healthy here. Yeah, we do take chunks of damage, but I do feel like this fit is super beginner friendly if and when you remember to turn on everything that you need to have running while you're there. But yeah, like I said, this fit is definitely very friendly. I don't remember the price on this. I'll have it linked in the description, kind of like I mentioned before, to where you can build this yourself and where you can like create it yourself. But in terms of pricing, I don't remember. It could be from anywhere from 40 to 100 million. But yeah, I think this fit is super beginner friendly. I think anybody that is looking to jump into T1s, I would definitely consider looking into this fit. Like I said, the only con that I feel this ship has in particular is the fact that it's very slow. Also, I just want to caveat before anybody says, "Hey, this isn't the right fit." I did run some augmentations on my warp drive, and that you can see me actually talking to one of my corp mates because they suggested I do this, and that gave me some more speed. I think it took my warp drive from 600 meters per second to about 650 meters per second capped. So that's me replying to my corp mates and stuff like that, talking to them about it. But yeah, you can do that as well. You can choose to augment your warp drive to see if you can get faster speeds. I unfortunately don't think I looked out with the particular augmentation that I was doing. So, that is something that you can look into if you do think this fits too slow and doesn't really fit your kind of needs and wants. And at least for this room in particular, I think I tried doing a full clear, so that's kind of why this video is a little bit longer than what it needed to be. I just really wanted to make sure I got the most out of my T1 experience, at least on my first run. But yeah, on the top left, you can see the little red timer kind of ticking down. I think I want to say that it ended up hitting like 4 minutes left. So I was cutting it close. If you hit 20 minutes, I believe you implode and everything you have is completely gone. So yeah, you're going to be cutting it close with this in particular, unless you are more efficient, which I might turn this into a series of me flying this ship, kind of similar to how Ace Face does it. He has a really cool series of him doing like T0 to T6 Abyss, which is something I could potentially do as well. Just, someone that's not as good as them at the game, right? Also, I didn't remember to do it for this particular run, but I'll most likely start doing it for my other runs, which is tracking them on Meat Tracker. That way I can kind of showcase like what kind of ISK I'm making from these runs, and other people can get general ideas of what I'm getting. But yeah, if anything, guys, if you really enjoy like this content that I'm making for Eve, definitely leave a like. I think that'll help me kind of gauge whether I want to keep making or potentially turn this into a series where maybe I flip flop between a T0, a T1 run and kind of showcase something. I know I have some fit reviews, but I personally feel like those don't get as much engagement. I think that's mostly because I am a newer player and I don't really know much about what's going on. So it's definitely like difficult to kind of break that. Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys learned that you don't have to be the best player to be able to do some abyssal raids like I did. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.